Adelaide, the greatest city in the world. It's time to wake up with the team born and bred right here in South Australia. The unofficial Mayor of Adelaide, AFL legend and Yabby peeling record holder, Mark Rasciuto. The former squash champ and current B-grade golf champ, Chris Didmar. And the award-winning radio host who's the dumbest smart person you know, Laura O'Callaghan.
It's Triple M Breakfast.
Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
Oh, it's already Friday morning. Can you believe it? We love Fridays.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Tell you what, today, your wheelie bin, Loz, it's full of cash. I don't know what's in it, but it's full of cash.
It is. It's full of cash. If you can guess what it is that is in my wheelie bin. Well, the wheelie bin's not full of cash. The envelope next to it is.
Figuratively.
will be. Yeah.
Figuratively speaking. $6,200 this morning.
Yeah, every incorrect guess adds $100, and we have 3 guesses a day, and people haven't got them right so far. So
Okay.
we're going to keep going with this until someone figures it out.
All right, Rumour mill later on this morning. Roo, there's a big South Australian story brewing, isn't there? It's a bit negative. No?
You have to help me with that.
Okay, all right. If someone wants to ring in and tell us all about it, well, I can't tell you because it's the rumour. So I've teased you, if you know what I mean, yeah.
What we could do is we could
Too
talk
early.
about it off air.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Tommy Jonas will come in and talk a bit of football as well.
Yep.
Being a Friday, we like to talk some football
What
on
are
Friday.
Port Adelaide doing?
What do you mean?
They're playing Ducks and Drakes.
No,
Connor
we're just getting
Rosie
ready.
will not play on Sunday.
Oh, they've named
Why are
him.
you doing that?
Are you calling us dishonest?
Yes.
Oh, gee, that hurts. Gee,
Not
whiz.
for the first time either.
Oh,
goodness.
Anyway, what are you doing this weekend, Loz?
I've got a Foul Bay this weekend.
What's happening in Foul Bay?
Not a whole lot. My friend Sarah, their family have a shack there, so we just...
What are you going fishing?
We might go fishing, yeah.
Oh, bring us back
Going
some.
to go get some... the Surf and Turf at Marion Bay pub is just...
Good
the
pizza.
That's a
best.
good
there.
pub, isn't
Oh.
it? Great pub.
I'm still thinking about
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm mostly going for that, to be
Yeah.
honest.
No, good.
But
What are you
yeah.
up to, Roo?
What am I doing? I'm debuting in coaching tonight, coaching my daughter's team. First game for the year tonight at Paynham Oval up against Emmanuel. So I'm doing that, and then I've got a couple of kids training after that, and then a couple of games of footy in the morning, and then watch the Crows tomorrow, Arvo, and then 2 games of footy Sunday morning, and then come down and commentate Port and Hawthorn with
You
you.
come to work Monday morning really refreshed.
Whack a few beers and a few bets in between, and should be a good
Oh, I just
weekend.
realised something.
What?
My friend Sarah's a Collingwood supporter, and we're going to have to watch the
Drowner.
footy together.
Drowner.
There you go.
Oh, maybe I'm not going to Foul Bay.
All right.
All right.
Triple M Breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast. Overnight news.
For the people out there who are interested in interest rates and what they're going to do, or our unemployment rate went up yesterday to 4.1 unexpectedly. They thought it was going to be 3.9%. So it's that old funny one, Loz, where it means there's more people out of jobs, but it's good for us. Because if the economy's too good,
I don't like our system. I don't like it.
I am totally confused.
Yeah.
Totally.
well,
Like the budget, give us more money.
If the economy's bad, then they lead to lower interest rates
Yeah.
so that people borrow more money to stimulate it.
Yeah. And then that happens, and then you go, oh, hang on, everyone's going too well.
And that's
So,
why they
yeah,
always find that there's always going up and down. So basically, and US had good inflation numbers, so there's a chance that now swinging
It's
back
like-
to interest rate
Yeah,
cuts.
it's like a jealous friend that doesn't like to see you too happy.
That's right.
You know,
No, you
like,
can't be too
"Yeah,"
happy.
But then they
Yeah.
ruin it with a. Did I tell you that she thinks you're fat? Or sorry.
That's the
Were you
best
having fun at
summation
this
I've heard.
party?
The best
Yeah.
description I've heard about it. Roo, you've been saying for a long time, why aren't we cutting immigration because of the housing crisis? Peter Dutton's reply to the budget yesterday, one of the things he said, I would cut immigration immediately.
Yes.
So there you go. If he gets in, and they reckon there'll be an election, next year?
Yeah, I'll give you a number. So we've had 930-odd thousand immigrants in the last 2 years, and we've built 265,000 homes. So
Yeah, those numbers are a bit
how
out
does
of
that
whack.
work out
Yeah.
for the rental
Doesn't
crisis?
work. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, look, I can't be bothered talking about it, to be honest.
Can't be bothered.
I'm sick of politics and I'm sick of
okay.
the economy.
Right.
What else have we
Someone's
got?
got to sort it out, Loz. It
Yeah,
doesn't just
look-
sort itself out.
I think
We're trying to find you a house, Loz.
You can't whinge about housing prices and rents. And
I haven't actually whinged. All right, you know what?
All right.
All right, we'll just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Let's
else
talk
have we
about.
Hey, out of Hollywood, you love your movies, Loz.
do.
Christopher Nolan, famous director. One of them,
So serious.
Oh,
one of the most famous. He's announced his greatest 3 actors of all time.
who's he said?
Cillian Murphy.
Yep,
Who's
agree.
Cillian Murphy? Tell me who
Have you seen
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders?
which one?
Well, he's the main character in Peaky Blinders.
He's the guy.
He's the main
You would
fella.
like Peaky Blinders, I think.
Yeah.
He was in the new one about the atom bomb.
Oppenheimer.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
But he's a good actor.
Very
Anyway,
good.
So out of all
best.
the
In the
actors
top three
that
ever?
have ever been, I know that I'm a bit surprised by that.
Gee
Anyway,
whiz.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yep, he's great.
comes in second in his eyes,
Top 3.
and Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in
Al Pacino, this might be controversial. I find him a little bit over the top, like just full on.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there.
Overrated.
In Scarface, over the top.
You know,
Probably because
like,
he's had a stack of stuff to stimulate him a little bit.
Sugar, sugar.
yeah, devil's dandruff. No, I think that he's a little bit. I probably would have put De Niro above him. Daniel Day-Lewis would have been at the top of my list. He's incredible. So, yeah, but
What
I
was,
think
what was his best movie?
There Will Be Blood.
Okay,
Or I really liked him in Gangs of New York as the butcher.
right.
Yeah, he
okay.
outshone Leonardo
Don't know them.
DiCaprio.
Who would have been your top 3, dudes?
No, you'll laugh because we're probably going back to black and white
Harold
movies.
from Neighbours.
Yeah, Harold from Neighbours. He's up there. Just missed out on the top 3, actually. Yeah.
Come back to me.
I also like
Who's your
Richard
best-
Burton.
Who's
Ray
your
Ma.
favourite actor?
Ray Ma.
Who is your favourite actor,
Home and
full
away.
stop, tits?
Truth.
Just
Stay in
give
the
me one.
flaming, stay in the flaming crow.
Just give me one of your favourite.
Oh, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine's
Okay.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
someone like that.
The best of all time, Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they say.
Because he was, if you go back and watch those old films, everyone else talks like this and da 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 da,
yeah.
and he just talks like a normal person.
Understated, yeah.
He acts like a real person,
Yeah.
and that's what made him so
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
What have you discovered with watches, dudes?
I read an article this morning about the world of advertising because we live in the world of advertising, don't we?
We do.
Pays our bills, makes radio stations tick. So I kind of, I do find these things interesting. Watches, right? And this is just a thing I picked up. Every watch advert
I
that you
feel
ever,
like I'm
ever
looking
see.
at someone different over there.
Oh, really? Every watch ad that you ever see, I didn't know this. This could go under something I learnt on Monday morning. The time is always 10 past 10.
Pardon?
Always, in every watch advert.
That's just like an unwritten rule.
Yeah, the reason being, so you can see the logo. So you can see the brand of the watch.
Right.
So if it's at, different
Knock
times.
me
it
over
will-
with a feather.
I know. Can you believe that? And someone then in the advertising world said, well, 4:40
Well, if you tip
would
it
be the
upside
same.
down, what happens?
Is it
and they
10
said-
past 10 or?
Yes, 10
So
past
same
10.
as 10 and 2 in terms of.
That's right,
yeah.
10 and 2. Someone said, why not 4:40 then? And they said, because it looks like a sad face.
Yeah, because it's down.
10:10 is a
You want
happy
it
Turn
face.
that frown
There you
upside
go.
down.
So you've learnt something this morning
Well
about the world
done.
of advertising.
I've learnt more about you.
What? These are the things I read.
Thanks, Chris.
It's part of our job.
Triple M breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Tits and Loz for breakfast.
Have you guys heard about the portal in Dublin to New York?
No, tell us more.
So I really like this idea. I saw it on the internet. It's a big round screen and it's placed in sort of like the Rundle Mall of Dublin.
Right.
And they've got a matching one in New York in the inner city in Times Square. And it's a big TV screen. There's a little camera at the top and it looks like you're looking into a portal into New York City because it's people just standing there looking at each
So
other.
it's a live shot.
It's just a live stream of New York, and you can walk by and wave and say good day, and
Okay.
it's just like a snapshot into on the other side of the world. Their
Are their
life.
time frames pretty similar?
Yeah, I think Dublin and New York are not too far away in time, actually. But it's I think it's a really cool idea, and I was thinking we could do this in Adelaide, and that'd be great. But it's almost immediately being ruined by people who are just flashing their bits and pieces.
Oh, of
Where would
course.
you have it in Rundle Mall?
Yeah, maybe Rundle Mall. Where would we connect to? Wagga? I don't know. Like, where would we go?
Hang on, Adelaide's a beautiful place.
Who wants to see Adelaide? I guess.
One of
but
our sister cities.
Yeah.
who's our sister
I think we've
city?
got Christchurch.
in Canada.
Christchurch, yeah.
What in
Canada.
Canada? Where's a good time?
We've got one in China.
Yep.
That would be educational.
It would.
Wow.
See what they're doing.
I wonder if they'd get their bits out. I think we'd corrupt them
Yeah.
terribly.
Yeah.
You can imagine Rundle
Chinese
Mall.
government would censor us.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. This is what I'm
Stop
thinking.
immigration. They wouldn't want to come here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They would see that and go, no, thank
Moving to
you.
that joint.
Biggest turn off of all time.
The
Problem solved.
With AI being what it is, surely they can put a sensor detector in there so that if
What,
someone does
idiot?
flash their boobs
Oh,
or
they-
their willy, they can blur it out.
So has that actually happened?
I think the
Just
birds
quickly,
are
right, here's a
More-
selection. Here's your selection. Christchurch.
Yep.
Georgetown, Malaysia. Never heard of it. Himeji, Japan.
Yeah.
Austin in Texas.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Qingdao in China.
Are they our sister cities? What does that mean?
Do a different one every day of the week. Why wouldn't you do that?
Just
Change channels.
Yeah,
Austin
then
today.
they won't get too sick here.
Imagine if
You
you met
need a
the
good
love of
fielder.
your
I
think
life.
that'd be
You need
quite-
a good fielder.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be brand damage central. It'll
Yeah.
do more harm than good.
Brand damage or brain damage?
Both.
Both. Just looking at it knocks
Yeah.
your IQ down. All right.
Don't mind the idea, though.
Let's pitch it to Mally.
Let's
You
get
got
him
his
on.
number?
He's in the US.
Oh.
He's probably setting
He'd
it up
want
now.
sport on the TV.
Tell him to get on the portal.
Triple M breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
Sports Card World, the specialists in sports cards and trading card games. Sports Card World, Region Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Triple M breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz. Overnight sports.
Oh, yesterday morning, Roo told us to get on the Gold Coast Suns and they kicked a record score. They beat Geelong by 64 points.
Oh, they just kept going. Went to bed at three-quarter time. It was enough for me. They were that far in front. They both kicked 7 goals in the last quarter.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of a shootout. They played pretty well, though. Their midfield was really good. Geelong just looked un-Geelong-like last night. But the Gold Coast Suns are going all right. They're 6-4. They're in the 8, and Damien Hardwick's happy.
To get great belief in what it looks like, but more importantly, what it feels like to play Suns footy. Look, they're making inroads. So as long as we keep growing, we keep improving, we're going to be happy.
They love Darwin. They are undefeated in Darwin. Now, part of that is they don't play the gun sides up there, but Geelong are, and they pumped them yesterday. So
Gee, I could watch Matt Rao play every day of the week.
he's in and under. He's tough, socks down, and gets the job done more often than not.
Forgotten SA boy, Sam Day. Thought he played really well last night.
Forgotten,
Big
fair
fella.
enough. He's original son.
He is.
Been on there for 14 years.
Played really well.
He was due to play his 150th game for a long time. He got that out the way, but well done to Sam.
So Doug Nicholls round continues tonight, Sydney and Carlton. That'll be another blockbuster. What a good game that'll be. Let's talk Crows, shall we,
Swannies
Roo?
will win that, I reckon.
The Swans will win. The Crows have made 2 changes for the clash against Collingwood at the MCG tomorrow. Defender Will Hamill and forward Lockie Murphy come in. Josh Worrell's out with a broken wrist. Dan Curtin's been omitted. Tell us about that, Roo. Should that have happened?
Yeah, I think it's probably fair. He's had a bit of a taste of AFL footy. He needs to go back and do a little bit of work now. He needs to probably learn to defend a little bit better and just understand how sharp you have to be in the world of AFL footy. I think his bloke Archie kicked a couple of goals on him. I reckon he cost him another couple just by not being right on right on his toes. So he's got to go back there, learn some craft, come back in. But it suits Adelaide anyway this week because Collingwood play a real small forward line. They have their resting ruck down in their forward line and Reef McGuinness down there. All the others are small, so you need actually small, fast defenders. Hence Will Hamill.
Because Mychek's out injured, isn't he?
Yeah, Mychek's been out for a while, so really they'll have Cox and Cameron resting down there, and then Reef McGuinness
All right.
is 6'4".
Will you beat Collingwood?
I reckon we're a chance.
Okay.
Yep, I reckon we're a
Adelaide,
decent chance.
Guana this weekend for Sir Doug Nicholls round.
Yep.
Yardapulti, Port Adelaide. They take on Hawthorn on Sunday at the Adelaide Oval, and Roo is sceptical. We've named Connor Rosie in our squad of 26, and you don't think he's playing, do you?
Put it this way, Ditz, if you were Ken Hinkley and what happened 2 weeks ago, or you were the doctor at Port Adelaide, would you play him?
Would you make the same mistake twice?
No.
No.
That's not...
So they must know something.
Well, they said they made a mistake. He's had 1 week off. He's had a hamstring. I just don't think...
Well,
why would you risk it?
We're calling the game Sunday. When they run out, we will know.
Yeah.
All right? Alir, champion defender, says Hawthorn will be difficult to beat.
We'll do our homework on Hawthorn. Obviously they were able to get the win, on the weekend. So, yeah, we'll do what we need to do on them and be ready to play them.
Good on you, Alir.
No James Sicily back. That was a big result for you boys. The captain not back in. They're beating the Saints and the Dogs the last 2 weeks. They have a crack around the ball. They're pretty good in areas where Port are not so good. That's their
upside.
Give them their chance.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we mentioned that Byron Pickett was going to appear on the Rush Hour last
How'd
night
he
with
go?
the boys. He was great. And he told a funny story about our very own Rhett Biglands.
I actually was chasing but not chasing, so I was just running along and just hoping someone would come towards me and that I'd just bump. But, and then Big was running to a picket fence. So, yeah.
I like it.
The
Poor
picket
old
fence.
Beagles. They pick on Rhett a little bit. That was funny that day. I had to go and say, Byron, come on, settle down a little bit, mate. Beagles was flat on his back.
Oh. Pick on someone your own size, Byron.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
I
our
love
look at
chopping.
sport.
Triple M breakfast.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
The top 5 things we learnt this week on Roo Dits and Loz. Number 5. We learnt the apple didn't fall too far from the tree when it comes to the Vince family. Remember that time Bernie got caught in his undies at the Stansbury pub?
Bill Harper's had several discussions with Bernie, and his version of events are down to boxer shorts in a public place. It's inappropriate to be in a public place like that.
Well, after 100 days without rain, we had to check in with the Triple M farmer and Bernie's dad, Farmer Tim. And he may have a familiar way to bring on the rain.
Do you do a rain dance sometimes, Tim? Do you get out in your jocks and sort of
Try and summon
you
it.
don't get that desperate?
I have been caught out in my job.
Yep, a real chip off the old block. Number 4.
Down the back.
We saw Port Adelaide's impressive win over the Cats last Friday, but what we really learnt is they can't spell.
What about the banner Friday night? The cheer squad misspelt Adelaide.
Well, Port's biggest supporter and Dit's second cousin, Shazza Ditmar, called in to let us know it can happen to the best of us.
Oh, who cares? Look, it's just your banner. You think that's bad? I once made a spelling mistake on the birth certificate of one of my lads, a young Kane. Look, I accidentally started his name with a C. It's not the only time Kane has been called a four-letter C word.
No.
Number 3. Roo and comedian Sam Pang have history, it's fair to say.
I've been waiting for you, Pang.
My old mate, Mark Rashudo.
Oh, don't do it, mate.
No, I know I may have been slightly hard on him in the past. Reminds me a lot of Mission Impossible, that entrance, by the way. If Tom Cruise was a balding half-wit from Wakefield. I like to do it down the camera and say a big hello, Mark.
And we learnt this week the feud is still alive and well.
You know, the last time I saw Mark was at Gather Round.
That didn't end well.
It did not end well when this lunatic tackled me from behind and almost crushed me.
That was a welcome to Adelaide bear hug.
You know what? I saw the last 2 years of your career. That's the first tackle that you've done since then too, by the way.
Careful, Pangy. You keep poking the bear, the next tackle you might end up like Dean Kemp.
It's a heavy bump. They want the umpires to stop the game. I don't think Mike Tyson would have got up from that.
Number 2. For a station of footballers, sports people and the lovely Loz, of course, we've had a few of the Triple M family fancy themselves Frank Sinatras over the years.
The way you bathed in light reminds me of that night.
The last bird out of Sydney's almost gone. Yeah!
You know that I know better.
I remember every little thing as if it happened only yesterday.
No, God! Oof, they need to stay in their lane. And I'll extend that advice to our Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, who joined us this week too.
I just want you to sing when the music stops for me. Here we go.
We're a happy team at home. We're the mighty party home. We love our club and we play to win, right in the bumps with a grin.
What do you think I'm going to say to you?
No.
Correct. Goodbye.
Still sounded better than the budget, I guess.
And you can stick it up your bum. That's what's going on.
Number 1.
Triple M breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
I need the tip.
Get it straight from the horse's mouth. I'm Mr. Ed. It's time for Roo's tip of the week.
Now, we know Roo's famous for his tips on a Friday.
Brody on the text line. Good morning, Roo. Thanks for your tip. I owe you a beer.
But we learnt if you really want to get lucky, you need to be listening to the voice of the suburbs.
The voice of the suburbs.
Oh, she is the voice of the suburbs and she's got everyone talking at the moment. Good morning. What is the topic this week?
What are the weird things your partner can do to get you in the mood?
Oh, hang on.
Tell me more.
Right. Listen up, everybody. Listen up.
What gets me excited is my partner doing the dishes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Roo had a flutter on that tip, so to speak.
Hey, I took your advice about doing the dishes the other night, and I'll tell you what, that paid dividends.
Really? Mother's Day indeed. I need the tip.
That's the top 5 things we learned this week on Roo, Dits and Loz.
Oh, well done, Jazzy.
Very good, very
Very good stuff.
Jazz, that was
Just a
great.
reminder, Roo's tip is coming up later on this
It is.
morning.
Hey,
What a
I'll give
hook.
you a tip. Do the dishes tonight.
Yeah, right.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
the housing market's going crazy in Australia. It has for a few years, and the prices are going up and getting out of control. And just about everyone understands now, if you are not lucky enough to have parents who have done well, it's going to be very hard to get into the housing market. And Anthony Albanese didn't say anything extra about how he's going to help that in his budget the other day. I can't remember reading anything in there about first home buyers, but I might be wrong.
He said we'd build 1.2 million homes, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
But nothing to help.
Didn't say
nothing
that.
to help you buy them, though.
That's right. But Peter Dutton, who a lot of people don't like, reckon he's pretty, looks like an ex-copper, which I think he is.
Yeah. Funny about that.
Yeah. But he acts like an ex-copper, doesn't he? Which
can be good or
could
bad.
be good or bad, yeah. But he come up with an idea which, I don't know, I think I like the idea of this, and I'm certainly not a financial planner, and people will pick it to bits and find holes in it. But he said, why don't we, and if he gets in, he wants to be able to let people, first home owners, access up to $50,000 of their superannuation money to get a deposit for a house, to get into the housing market. I think it's a great idea as long as there was rules in place that 50 grand is protected. You can't sell your house and cash in. You just put a big barbed wire fence around it somehow and make it as safe as possible in the housing market. If you think back 50 years, we never even had superannuation. That's how people got houses. And then it started in the 90s. I think compulsory super started coming in, but house prices were more affordable. People could have super and have a house. Now it's not like that anymore. And I think it's a great idea. I mean, over the history of Australia, house prices have continued to go up around about 7% a year. So as long as you're not buying one year and selling the next, you're not going to risk losing. If you're in long-term in a house over 20 years, you are going to have reasonable growth. You might have great growth. You're not going to lose money. It doesn't. That's not.
But then if it's always locked in with the house, even if you have growth.
No, but when you get the growth laws, you can refinance probably in 5 years and take the 50 out and put it back in your super.
Okay, but it has to go back into super. It can't.
That's in the barbed wire fence. That 50 grand's never coming out.
You get it when you're 65.
Not going to Hawaii on that 50 grand. You're not buying
rules
Harley Davidson 3 years after. No. That 50 grand is locked and loaded.
Can I give you some quick figures? I just did this calculation. So you're right. So I think the last 12 years, 7% is the average that houses have gone up right around Australia, right?
That's in the history, I think.
Bear with me. 50 grand today, in 5 years, your 50 would be worth 65,539. In 10 years, your 50 grand is $91,919.
Say that again?
Well, by going up 7% per year, right, over a 10-year period with compound interest, your 50 becomes 91,919.
In super?
No, the 50 you've invested in your house, if it's gone up 7% per year on average.
But it doesn't work like that with a house. If you put 50 grand into a house, you're buying a $500,000 house. You're getting 7% on 500. You're making 35 grand a year. But if you wanted,
I totally get that. But aren't you? If you wanted to siphon off your 50, I'm saying that your 50 you put in.
You're talking about paying the 50 back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it more interest than you get on your super?
Yeah. Super.
Well, you make 35 grand a year buying a house. If you buy a $500,000 house and you get 7% on that, you're making 35 grand a year. 7% on 50,000 is 3.5.
I don't see any real issues with it other than the fact that is it not just putting more money? Like, don't we want to fix the situation so that houses are affordable?
How are we going to do that?
Well, I mean, that's what I don't have the solution to that. But isn't this just like, and then in another 30 years, it's going to be, even with your super, it's going to be too expensive because it's just going to keep inflating.
There's parts
and inflating.
of the world where you can't buy houses.
Yeah, and is that what we want to be? Like, or do
that's
we want?
That's where we are.
Yeah, but okay, all right. I just think that if we can reform it in some way, come up with some sort of solution so that we're not using our own.
Well, it's your own money.
Yeah, but it's your savings it's a rainy day sort of like end of life stuff, isn't it?
Well,
I don't know. I'd like to talk. You made a very good point. I'd like to talk
absolutely there'll be people that don't like it, but it's an option.
Yeah.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
He played over 200 AFL games.
And Jonas kicks the goal, second career goal in his 210 games.
He's the former Port Adelaide captain.
Big tackle, Jonas, captain's wrapper.
Please welcome to Triple M Breakfast, Tom Jonas.
I never had any doubts whatsoever. No doubt that we'd go down to Geelong and win.
How many bullets did you have in the chamber last week? It's fair dinkum.
Well,
honestly, I don't know how his phone bill last week would have been unbelievable. He's lucky he's not on credit. He would have had to fill it up about 10
By Tuesday, all the bullets were out. There were people shot everywhere.
I'm surprised he's even on radio this week. He hasn't lost his voice.
No, and it worked. We got him up. We got him over the line.
He's taking credit for the victory.
But he wasn't happy with the second half. He reckons that was shit house.
Yeah. Well, it was. Fell away.
The job was done.
So you won the unwinnable game that you said was unwinnable.
Haven't been able to do it in 17 years.
Led by 49 points, fell in by 6.
Yeah, it happens.
And he just said he watched them get flogged by 10 goals up in Darwin last night, so it actually wasn't that good a win.
These are the supporters you're trying to please when you're out there having a crack, Tommy.
Jeebus creepers. Hard yakka, isn't it? Who needs enemies when you got friends like Dits, eh?
Crows draw and I do a cartwheel. I'm like, yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm
we just
happy
didn't
with the
lose.
draw.
How fantastic.
And that's the difference.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, that's exactly
We'll be 3 on the trot in 2 weeks, Dits.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, hang on.
We'll be talking flags.
Don't get ahead of the Hawthorn game.
Nah, please. The boys will deal with that. No troubles at all. It'll be like us. What was it? Bloody Sunday last year when the Hawks came over half time.
What, win by 10 goals? Plus?
Yeah, they should win. They should win by 10 goals. No Sicily. Rosie back in.
He's not playing Connor Rosie. You're not falling for that.
Well, main session's today, so he does have to tick that off. But hey, there wasn't much in it apparently. So
oh, come on. There's no chance he's playing.
But nah, it's good to see the boys bounce back. I think sometimes you need just a showdown to really get you ticking. Hopefully never again, because there's friggin' 3 in a row.
Rue kept saying it. He said, remember last year, went to Sydney after the showdown? Well, that happened again.
Serious conversations had, no doubt. And, it always stings a bit more as you'd know, Rue, and then you bounce back.
Can you give us anything from the inner sanctum? What did happen after the showdown? Were there serious meetings and some eyeballing going on?
I think it's just matter of fact that you've lost 3 showdowns in a row. It's not acceptable. We're here to win premierships, but we're also, you live in this state, you've got an enormous supporter base and there's a lot hanging on it, and we need more people to contribute every week, let alone those significant games.
I thought they just played the 6:30 sport from Monday to them, Dits, and that was enough. Your tips to them and they just went,
there you go.
He's right.
Yeah, well, they need a new theme for the finals this year, so maybe do something to do with Dits.
What was the theme? Wasn't it Oppenheimer last year?
Yeah, something like that.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, the movie about the bomb.
Yeah. What about when you said you hated the Crows? That broke my heart. You remember that?
Yeah, well, that got things going a bit, though, didn't it?
So Doug Nicholls round this week. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to all of the players?
I think we're privileged at Port Adelaide. We've had a rich Indigenous culture, and there's a few teams probably throughout the AFL that stand apart in that. And it's always great. You get to sit down and learn where all of the boys are from if you didn't already know. And I think it's just getting better and better. Teams taking on the Indigenous name, and you see Jarman Impey's going to be captaining the Hawks this week in Sicily's absence. So export player. Yeah. I think I haven't spent a heap of time with Jars since he's left Port, but he's been around for a long time now and seen a lot, and he's pretty well set in their side, and I think he'd do a great job of it and it'd be a great opportunity. I don't think they lead necessarily like we do. They're not always as loud and outspoken, and generally more with their actions, but great in the connection space.
What's the best thing you've seen in Indigenous rounds in your career? Like, is there things that stand out that you've learned or you get exposed to that you wouldn't have? Or
for me, it's those moments where on the big stage in Indigenous round, you'll see like a Cozzy Pickett just go to town, have
they
a day
love
out.
playing in it.
Yeah, they just rise to the occasion. I think going to Darwin, their NT last night. Is really fitting. They're the moments for me.
Cool up there, doesn't it?
Yeah, so they're the things that I love about it.
Yeah.
Have you got a favourite?
Favourite
Indigenous player?
Player? I was a big Crow supporter, as you know, Roo, so I absolutely love Bungie McLeod growing up. I couldn't get enough of Bungie. He kicks a left foot goal from 50 against Collingwood.
That was a good
but then just the way Choppy Pickett just ran through people.
We had a look at
it was an inspiration for the way I played the game, but
Eddie Betts kicked goal of the year a couple of times in Indigenous round.
he did.
It was uncanny.
I couldn't like Eddie because most of them were with me in the background somewhere. So.
Stumbling after him.
Just fall over.
Same with Isaac Rankin. So
it's going to be a great
time
round
for those blokes.
Yeah. Good on you, Tommy. Thanks for coming in. Tom Jonas, former Port Adelaide skipper.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast. AutoCam, real-time video from Automasters. Triple M's Rumour Mill, Adelaide's most listened to segment. Hear it every day at 7:40 on Roo, Dits and Loz.
All right, we've got an anonymous rumour caller on the line. Good morning, Anonymous. What would you like to say?
Okay, how you going?
Good, mate.
I've got a... That's good.
Good
start. I've got a rumour that goes with the wireless steelworks. I've also heard that Goldings, who are the mining contractor up at Iron Duke and Iron Knob, have announced that there's going to be forced redundancies in the next 4 or 5 weeks, which is going to amount to about approximately 160 people going to lose their jobs.
Is that because they're not using ore to make, because they're not making steel, so they don't need them to work, I suppose?
Well, I think that's part of it, and I think some of the ore is running out there, the hematite, which they mine up there. I think some of that's running out.
From the earth, it's actually running out as a
in the
ground. Yeah.
That's right. The hematite is what they predominantly export, and it looks like the stocks of hematite in the mining area up there are soon to be exhausted within the next 18 months.
Yeah, well, they're not. Apparently, the steelworks going to be shut down for 6 months or something. Is that what you've heard?
That's what I've heard as well. Yeah, there's a big problem with the blast furnace there, which
produce about $5 million worth of steel a day, and they reckon they're going to be out for a couple of 100 days. Do the sums on that, Dits.
Yeah, that's huge.
What does that add up to? 200 times 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. RoboCop.
$1 billion. Can you
billion? $1 billion.
That's a lot of money to be able to not deal with for a long period of time.
That's ridiculous.
Chris, what is Iron Knob like?
As a town?
Yeah.
Have you been to Andamuka?
Isn't there a movie about Iron Knob?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is a movie. Google it. It's like a private production, but yeah, you'd love it.
What's it like? What's the movie called?
I think it's called Welcome to Iron Knob.
So it's a tourism.
Yeah. Oh God, is it a horror or is it a comedy or?
It's a comedy. It's something you'd have to watch. It's quite a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good on you, Anonymous. Thanks for calling.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast. It's time for your favourite game, Loz's Wheelie Bin of Fortune.
Oh, let's head out to Athelston. G'day, Jacob. G'day, Jacob.
How you going?
Yeah, good mate.
Great, Jake. What's going on?
Oh, just at work, starting the day.
What are you doing?
Well, I work in IT. I'm IT manager
So you're
at
a
a law
nerd then?
firm in Adelaide.
Jacob, don't even take any offence to that. It's like
Dits
a
is
running
scared of
joke.
technology. He doesn't understand.
I just told a story in the break. What happened to me yesterday, Jacob, with technology? Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll keep you on the line. He can tell you off air.
I don't
Just
understand.
riveting.
And now, this is for $6,200. What is in Loz's wheelie bin? What's your guess, Jacob?
I reckon it's a Kit Kat.
Okay.
Now, how have you arrived at Kit Kat?
Okay. Firstly, chocolate.
That was one of the clues, yep.
That's tick one. The second is Japan. So Japan has this sort of popular culture with Kit Kats, where they've got different varieties, than what we have in Australia. So they've got green tea flavours and coffee flavours and all sorts. So
you're in IT
dip.
and you're a Japanese Kit Kat expert as well.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, stop it,
Keep going.
Ignore him, Jacob.
And with unallocated, well, essentially that could refer to a break or a pause, like taking a break, like have a break, have a Kit Kat.
This is clever.
Oh,
this
good.
is
Very
clever.
smart.
Yeah, it's
This is
actually
clever.
unoccupied. though.
Unoccupied is the
sorry,
Similar.
unoccupied. Sorry.
Yeah, similar
All
concept.
right, can
yeah.
we go to the drum roll for $6,200?
Jacob in Athelstone, I can tell you that you are incorrect. I'm so
Tricked
sorry.
me there again.
I thought you were
Loz.
going to
Sorry.
say something else then.
How many different ways?
Hey, good work though, Jacob. I like the way you think, mate.
I do too.
I like
Geez,
that.
what, you've done a flip-flop, have you?
No, I was only winding him up.
Nah.
Don't call him a nerd, Dits.
No.
Sorry.
Nerds keep us alive. They power
Every
this
time
world.
you call someone a nerd, I'm going to ask them what they think of you. Remember that happened another time? How would you describe Dits? And he
Called
said,
me a cockatoo.
he said pink and grey is how I
He said I'm a
describe
cocky.
He's a bloody glass.
Pink and grey is one of the grey insults.
Jacob, you got a free hit to describe Dits. You can ring back on Monday.
Oh, it's Loz's wheelie bin of fortune.
Hey, $6,300.
Yeah.
Wow.
Triple M's Roo, Dits and Loz for breakfast.
On Triple M Breakfast with Roo, Dits and Loz.
I need the tip.
Get it straight from the horse's mouth. I'm Mr. Ed. It's time for Roo's Tip of the Week.
Loz, Roo is going to give us a winner. Before he does, though, let's ask you about the footy quickly.
Yes.
Who's going to win tonight? Who do we need in our tips?
Who's playing?
Sydney versus Carlton.
At the SCG?
At the SCG.
I think Sydney get the chocolates.
Sydney. All right.
Okay.
Crows win this weekend?
I think they're a good chance. I mean, Collingwood and Melbourne's always hard with De Goey back, but I reckon we're due for a win over them. We should have won them both last year and lost them both, so
All right.
I'll go for the Crows.
Port Hawthorn?
Port will get the job done.
All right. Comfortable or hard one?
Never know with Port, do you?
No.
Maybe comfortably this week.
All right. We're calling it?
We are Triple M's
brought in
Rockin'
the
Footy.
A-grade.
What time's a Rockin' Footy tonight? 5:30?
Yeah, 5:30 tonight. All right. A winner at the races tomorrow.
Well, I've been out of form, so
Yes.
what do they say? If you throw enough darts at the board, you'll get one. I'm going to throw two today. All right, race 2, number 1. I've tipped this horse a while ago, Alpine Flyer. I think it's a bit too good for him. Should just sit off the pace and hopefully win. Alpine Flyer at $2.50. Have $1 on the nose of that. And if it wins, put $1 each way on race 8, number 3, Merchant Boss. You can get $5 for it. Put $1 each way, and hopefully that will win as well, guys. So,
I've got $6.
all right, well, there you go.
Race 6 tomorrow is called the Triple M Handicap at Morpheville.
Handicap,
Yeah.
race 6.
Is it?
It is.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. You have a great weekend in Clare, Dits. Loz, you have a great weekend over at Foul Bay.
Yeah.
I'm going kicking and screaming. I've got
You'll
it.
be
Yeah.
out of your comfort
It's
zone
a gourmet
there.
weekend. I know.
Food
What do you
and
do at
wine.
those? What do you do at that? Any idea?
Eat and drink.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right. I'll try.
The
I'll
weather
give it
will
a
be
go.
beautiful in Clare.
I'll
Might
try
be a
my
bit-
best.
Might be a bit cold in the mornings. You might have to have a little
Okay.
Oh,
cuddle.
A whistle.
okay.
All right.
A whistle. We can all.
All right. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks.